Hey, what's up, you 8,400 beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. As always, my name is Anton, and hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day because, of course, we are returning to ROXETTE, one of my favorite bands. Actually, yeah, kind of, I guess, of all time. I like, yeah, some of their songs are some of my favorite songs of all time. Fading Like a Flower, Do You Get Excited, Listen to Your Heart I just think they're standout tracks of those two decades, the late 80s and the 90s. Just, I think they're masterpieces. Just absolutely brilliant. But anyway, this is an excerpt of our full album reaction to Crash Boom Bang. So if you enjoy this song reaction, you want to check out the entire thing with everybody, first link down below to join the Patreon. And yeah, also before we get into it, as always, if you guys have any songs by ROXETTE you want me to check out, leave a comment down below and I'll take a look at those when I choose our next ROXETTE songs. And also, if you have any song requests from me and you want to check out any of our full album reactions like I alluded to, definitely join everybody in the Patreon, and for free song requests, the Discord. But yeah, there's some like limitations to those, so if you want just any song you want, Patreon. And I think that's it. So yeah, I guess thank you guys for all the support, and that's it. So let's get into ROXETTE, Crash Boom Bang.
My papa told me to stay out of trouble. When you found your man, make sure.
Okay, I already, even from Harleys and Indians in this song, I think this album is going to be a more dramatic, layered record. Joyride, for the most part, was a very in-your-face, fun, upbeat record with some atmospheric standouts, like Fading Like a Flower and Do You Get Excited. But I think those were the exception to the rule on that record, because that was just a fun record. I think on this record, I'm noticing already, just by these two songs in the first 11 seconds of this song, that there seems to be just more going on in the background. You probably have just heard Lola. She barks at nothing half the time. But yeah, just that's what I'm noticing on these last two songs. There's more to the mix. There's like a bit more atmospheric background guitars. Mary's vocal style in this song already is coming across extremely dramatic. And so yeah, let's go back to the beginning for you guys. Yeah, the drum right there, the ride cymbal.
When you found your man, make sure he's for real. I've learned that nothing really lasts forever.
Ooh.
I sleep with the scars I wear that won't heal.
The imagery almost seems like biblical, like very dramatic. Egyptian almost. Greek.
'Cause every time I seem to fall in love, crash, boom, bang.
That's what this song is about.
But then I hit the wall, crash, boom, bang. That's the goal, that's the game, and the pain stays the same. I'm walking down this empty road to nowhere.
I knew more was gonna fall in. You get the bass.
By the houses and blocks I once knew.
Cool drumming.
My mama told me not to mess with sorrow, but I always did, and Lord, I still do. I'm still breaking the rules.
Yeah, the layers in these songs.
Every time I seem to fall in love, crash, boom, bang. I find the hope, but then I hit the wall, crash, boom, bang. That's my real middle name. It has always.
Okay, so I might be really grasping at straws here and creating a metaphor that probably doesn't exist. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. This could be actually way deeper, the music video, than I was at first expecting. So she's talking about I'm like a moth to a flame, to love and to sorrow, right? Because those things are usually connected. So she's wearing this white gown, which usually symbolizes purity and hope and optimism, right? And she's in this white gown that you could almost see as like a metaphor for falling in love. And as she's falling in love, she's walking up the steps of like a spiraling staircase, right? And I don't know if the music video is going to go in this direction, but it could almost be symbolized as when you're falling in love, you're climbing into heaven, you're climbing into bliss, you're climbing into perfection. When you're in love, literally the colors are brighter. Nothing like, you could be in traffic, usually you'd be pissed off, but if you're in love in traffic, you're like, hey, people are dumb sometimes, you know what I mean? Nothing drags you down. And then what might happen is she gets to the top, and then that is the climax of the relationship. That is the crash, boom, bang, crash, boom, burn, I think, as she's saying this song. And then it falls apart, and then it would be interesting if like her gown turned to like black or to like red or something, and then she started kind of falling down the staircase, because you saw some interesting imagery of the one guy with the basket full of fruit, and it was fallen, and it was in reverse coming back in, and that's what first gave me the idea that there seems to be like a cyclical nature to this music video, or it's symbolizing time in some sense, or change. And then that's kind of what got me onto this. But I'm going to pay more attention to the people on the side and what they're doing and how they're interacting or not interacting with Marie. But let's get back into it.
That's my real middle name. It has always been the same. That's the core. That's the game.
Ooh, I love that note. Ooh. I felt that.
I still feel the heat and the taste of the kissing, shattered by rain.
Great macro vocals.
Holy war.
Ooh, yeah, this song is incredibly well created. Ooh, I love that guitar. Wow, amazing orchestration. What's he throwing out? Pages.
And every time I seem to fall in love, crash, boom, bang. I find the roses lying on the floor, crash, boom, bang. That's the core, that's the game, and the pain stays the same. That's my real middle name.
This is Marie, man.
It has always been the same. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It has always been the same. It's always been the same.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so that was absolutely fantastic. That one really grew on me too. Just like the last one, Harleys and Indians. at first, I was assuming this was going to be a very delicate song, and it was. This is a very delicate song. It's very pure. Has a very pure feeling to it. Yeah, purity, like sensual from a like. Yeah, it felt like heaven. Like it felt like angels and violins and Cupid and everything. Yeah, created a very interesting soundscape. And at first, I thought it was going to be a bit too pure for me. I thought it was going to be just not enough bite. You know, Fading Like a Flower had a passion to it. Do You Get Excited had a lot of passion. Listen to Your Heart, a lot of passion, a lot of feeling of like crying for something. You know what I mean? Do You Get Excited was calling for physicality. You know, and he was calling for sensuality, for intimacy. Fading Like a Flower was a song, if I'm correct, about maybe a bit about confusion, about tortured love, about the anguish that comes with love. And this one too, thematically, was kind of like that too. But this one took a more pure sonic scape than Fading Like a Flower. And then Listen to Your Heart, again, that was a call. Listen to your heart. You know what I mean? It was, yeah, pouring the heart into that song. And this one, I was like, okay, this is going to be a very pristine, pure song. And it was, but I loved how this song grew and built. And again, this is what I'm saying about this record so far. The two songs. This record seems to be about building. Seems like a much more dynamic record. These songs shift and change more than I think anything on Joyride did. Now again, Fading Like a Flower and Do You Get Excited are probably my two favorite Roxette songs. But objectively speaking, I think there's more elements and variety to the individual songs on this record so far. I don't know, maybe the rest of the record will go in more of that direction, a simplistic direction, but so far we're seeing changes in the drumming style. Like we're really not just adding a bass guitar and adding the 4/4 drums come in, but we're seeing, you know, ride cymbal usage. We're seeing tribal snare fills in the last song. We're seeing a lot of different things on this record. And Marie seems to be, she's always been very dynamic, but she might be even, we'll see. I'm not going to make a comment on Marie yet on this record. I don't know where it's going from that standpoint. But, so now, do we got anything jumping out about the lyrics? My papa told me to stay out of trouble. When you found your man, make sure he's for real. Yeah, not just an illusion. And as I always say, you usually can't tell the illusion from the reality for the first year or year and a half because your whole nervous system and your body is just flooded with bonding chemicals and oxytocin. It makes it very difficult to actually figure out and see clearly through the love goggles. But I do believe if you know what to look for and you have a sense of groundedness to you, I think you can spot real men or real women through the fog. It's entirely possible, but it's difficult. It's difficult, especially as I always say about all the trauma bonding stuff, right? But that's for another video. I've learned that nothing really lasts forever. I sleep with the scars I wear that won't heal. They won't heal because every time I seem to fall in love, crash, boom, bang. I find the heart, but then I hit the wall. Crash, boom, bang. That's the call, that's the game. And the pain stays the same. Yeah, I felt like this probably up until a year ago, actually. It's interesting because I'm an optimist when it comes to love, but I've also been very heartbroken and hurt. And I feel like consciously I have these beliefs about love and relationships that you can make anything work. But I think subconsciously my heart was still very hurt and it didn't trust fully yet. And I think that's always kind of a thing going on with human beings, is that we're always, until we figure this out, at war between our conscious and our subconscious minds and beliefs. And that our conscious mind will either be the optimist or the pessimist, and our subconscious will either be the optimist or the pessimist. More of the time, they're both pessimists, or the conscious is the optimist and the subconscious is the pessimist. But I think now, actually, in my life, I'm noticing. I think both have become optimists. I think subconscious, my heart's more open than it was a year ago, and especially when I got my heart shattered when I was 21. And a lot of times, difficult times in love, some betrayals, and a lot of just the illusion that she's talking about, that I thought I had what worked and I thought I had what I wanted, but it seemed to, like an inferno, explode around me. Especially because I was very much part of that inferno. I'm not blaming them. I was, as I always say, I was very much a mess when I was younger. But yeah, I like this song because it's very philosophical. I like these songs that don't have a hard answer, but have kind of a question as a thesis at the core, a question, or have a slant, but seem to have an optimism at the core, like they're not fully sure, because that's what's interesting. It's not interesting for someone to tell you the answer to something in life. What's interesting is someone to tell you a universal truth, but it still be open to interpretation, because then you can actually wrestle with that. You can have some of yourself in that. It's not fully kind of answered for you, because sometimes I feel like in the 21st century, I'm like, how many more things are open for me to explore? Imagine being an explorer in the 1800s, in the 1900s. Africa was unexplored. People didn't know what existed there. There were uncontacted tribes. There were cannibals. People went on expeditions through the Amazon rainforest, and they knew I might be the one to chart this uncharted territory. I might be the one to create something that's never been done before. Where I feel like for a lot of us in the 21st century, with the exception of outer space, but even then, I feel like we have so many answers now. We know, through like LADAR, like we've mapped out Africa, we've mapped out the Amazon rainforest. We even, in our sense of arrogance in some way, we've mapped out the solar system and the cosmos. We have so many answers that I feel like a lot of us don't ask any more questions, because I'm like, who am I to ask a question when the answer's on Google? And that's why I like songs or questions that don't have answers, because I could be the one to answer that. I could be the one to create something that's never been done before. I could be the one to create a philosophy about love or relationships. I might be the one that bucks the trend. I might be the one that breaks the cycle. I think that, again, that's why I like lyrics that are open to interpretation, or maybe not even open to interpretation, but are open. They're malleable. They're not fixed. There's something you can interact with about the lyrics. I want to be able to interact with the lyrics in some way. I don't want them to be too easy and too fixed. Because, okay, I guess that's the answer. There's no point in talking to you, because you've already made up your mind. You know what I mean? Part of loving conversations is that maybe one of us can grow, or both of us can grow. Maybe one of us or both of us can change our opinions about something. Isn't that the whole point of having a difference in opinion? Is that maybe we can open each other's eyes to something that we never knew? Like, that's just my perspective on it. But yeah, this was a very cool song. That's my real middle name. It has always been the same. That's the call, that's the game, and the pain stays the same. Does she change in the taste of the kissing shattered by rain? Yeah, the best of our relationships are usually shattered by the worst of them in our memories. I kick it up, I kick it down. Every time I seem to fall in love, crash, boom, bang. I find the roses dying on the floor. Again, very great imagery in this song. Very textured, tasteful imagery. You can feel the roses. I kick it up, I kick it down. That's active. That's a statement. You can visualize kicking that. you know, and the wild holy war, again, has some almost, you know, biblical religious connotation, which is embedded in our subconscious minds. We gravitate strongly towards religious symbolism. But yeah, okay. This was great. And yeah, as always, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you want to check out the rest of the full album reaction with us, first link down below to join everybody in the Patreon. And if you have any other Roxette songs you want me to check out, leave a comment down below. And if you have any song requests for me, check out the Discord. And if you want to request any song without any limitations, Patreon. And if you guys enjoyed any of the more like philosophical parts of this video, I have a podcast where I talk about a lot of this stuff, about love, philosophy, spirituality, that kind of thing. And if you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, if you enjoyed the video, definitely leave me a like and leave me a comment. Yeah, I really appreciate it. So thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one. I love you. Peace.